guys, and welcome back to Between Us Girlies. I'm Casey.
I'm Bran.
I'm Lindsay.
I'm Bailey.
And before we get into this episode, we have to shout out that Brandon reached 1 million followers on TikTok.
Thank you, guys.
We are so proud of you, Brandon. I did get you a little present.
You shouldn't have. Stop.
I'm going to pass it down the line. So this is an inside joke. We got you 2 presents, actually.
Oh, my God. Thank
you.
Stop.
So for the audio listeners, we did get Brandon a cookie cake that says my 1 millionth follower with a little Krusty Krab meme. Okay, so Brandon's also opening this present.
Oh, my God. All Bran Flakes and his crew like to do is get fucked up and cause drama. This was said by one of the worst people I've ever met in my life in college. Oh, I can't wait to make a video about this. And she still watches our podcast. Your impact, babe.
I thought that would be really sentimental because, like Brandon said, this girl bullied us in college. Bullied all 4 years of college.
Tried to get Casey to transfer schools. Like, she's not a nice person.
A horrible person. And she was talking so much shit on Brandon one time. And she was like, Bran Flakes and his crew, all they like to do is get fucked up and cause drama. He's not going to go anywhere in life.
And I got everywhere in life by getting fucked up and causing
look
drama.
exactly where you are. So I thought it would be a nice sentimental moment to remember you did go everywhere.
Exactly. I just understood my brand at an early age.
Maddie knew who she was at a very young age.
That's insane. Oh, guys, thanks so much.
We're so
cookie
proud of
cake.
you.
Yes.
You guys get me.
We got you,
When was
babe.
the first cookie cake? 2020?
What?
It said happy birthday, Keisha.
Yes, with
For
the
all our
green.
Big Brother fans.
Yes, I
such
had to go
goodness.
back and get that for you, babe.
I love you guys.
Wait, I got hungry throughout the day, though, and that cake was almost gone, y'all.
Just looking at it.
I was like, damn, I got a sweet tooth.
It's so funny. I was going to make you a sweatshirt with that saying on it, but we were all at Brandon's house yesterday, and he was just handing out sweatshirts left and right because he has too many. And he was
Too
like,
many.
guys, please, like, take them. I need to get them out of my closet. And I was like, fuck, I can't add to his sweat. Like, I need to get him something different. So I thought a little tote bag would be cute.
Do we have the screenshot of that text?
I could probably
fear you do. If you could,
I could try to find
if you
it.
could
We
trace
probably,
it.
type it into photos
Yeah, I
now.
could try to find it.
You can type into photos now.
Yeah, my.
Wow.
or
But it
your
only like shows
pictures
you what's
app.
like texted, right?
No, I typed in like, I forgot what I was looking for. I was looking for something. I was looking for a screenshot of an Instagram story of literally like plates from a gym, and I typed in gym or plates, like PLA, and it found it.
Damn.
And it's a very specific picture.
no.
I updated my phone too, and I kind of like hate it because like everything's so
too.
big. Why are the emojis
I know, I don't
so
like
big?
it.
Damn.
I fear we have so much to recap.
yeah, we do.
So
Casey,
much.
this is your first time like in this seat in like a month.
Welcome
know.
back.
We're on
I
vacation,
missed
and we
it.
did the governor. What's going on? How was vacation?
It was so nice. I went to Key West for my 3-year anniversary, and I've never been to Key West before. It's so nice there. It's like perfect because it's a really quick flight, and it's like not that you're in another country, but it has the vibe of that because it's so warm and like it doesn't feel like you're, I don't know, even when you go to LA, like you still feel like you're in like America. Like Key West felt very like tropical. Like you could have told me I was in like Aruba and I would have believed you. But it was just so nice because I've never taken like a do nothing vacation. Like every vacation I've ever had is like we explore or we do like tourist activities or we have something planned. Our plan was to literally do nothing. Like
So nice.
just lay out and eat food, and it was the best. It was so relaxing. But I did have one funny thing happen that I just wanted to share because we went out to dinner and we ended up going out to like the little like gayborhood in Key West. It's very small, but we went to this restaurant and we ended up meeting the owner of this very cool restaurant. It's called Red Shoe Island Bistro, something like that. And we ended up going, we had a great dinner. We met the owner and he was talking to us, and he was a gay guy from Philly, and I met his husband and we were talking. And if you know anything about Florida, you know that Key West is a little bit Trumpy and they really like, they're a little Republican down there. And he was talking to us and he said something and he was like, you know, I have to be really careful about who I say that around here. And he was assuming that me and Jake were Democrats. And I was thinking
Wait.
like he made a statement that was like, whatever he was saying, it was something about being like liberal. And he was like, I have to be careful, like, you know, who I say that around down here because everyone down there is Republican. And the fact that he felt safe enough to say that to me and Jake, I was like, you could have told me I'm the prettiest person on earth, and it still wouldn't have been as good of a compliment as you assuming that I'm a Democrat.
Right.
It was incredible. I was like, my boyfriend's a big, strong white guy. I'm a blonde little girl. We could easily pass as Republicans. It was so comforting to know that he thought we were
I
Democrats.
didn't say that.
It's actually so funny, like the reverse of that. Like a few weeks ago when we had Deb on, we all got dinner after, and Lindsay was talking about politics, and I didn't think Deb was a Trumper, but I was just like, hey, like it's okay, and she was like, please don't think that I'm a Trumpy. So it's like so funny how the inverse of that is like the ultimate insult if like someone like maybe like thinks you might be.
Yeah,
like insane.
Not to cut you off, but I was on a date recently, and the guy was like, "So who'd you vote for?" And I was like, the way he asked it, I'm like, "Do I give MAGA?" And like, is there something I need to change?
Yeah, you're like, what about me made you question who I voted
yeah,
for?
I'm like, what out of the right?
I don't think anyone's ever gonna ask me that.
No,
I think I radiate like, don't keep that. Oh, I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. Like I couldn't be Republican even if I tried. Like that would be a hard Halloween costume for me. Like I just
No, I need to do some like aura, like farming, as the kids say. Just like
I'm
change
so dead.
my aura, kind of give something off bad, I guess, right now.
Maybe it was because you were on a date and you were a little nervous, but I do feel like all of our energies are all extremely Democratic.
Did he vote for Kamala?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wow.
No, he was full about. He's like,
A
say it
man
with
with
your
morals?
chest. No, yeah, he broke up with me.
Let's talk about it.
But yeah, let's
about
dive
it.
deep.
Let's do a quick Bailey's voice segment.
Oh,
right.
Damn. Throwback.
I know. We haven't done this in a while. I've been like chaotic, I guess. But no, I went on a date recently with one of my gym crushes. So that did work out for the time being. And those 2 weeks were fun. But it was good because I went on dates and I was shown that the grass is greener on the other side sometimes. Like I was shown a good a good time, but I got hit with I'm just not looking to date right now, and that's okay. I didn't cry about it.
Like I told you when you filled me in, as much as that is annoying and sucks and whatever, I feel like the alternative is you being led on for X amount of time and somebody playing in your face, like telling you that they want to date you, but they're really not ready. Like if you have to pick between the two, I'd much rather him do this now than 6 months down the line when you've really developed feelings.
You're so right. You're so right. But it's crazy because I feel like this 2-week situationship kind of hurt a little bit worse than my 5-year one. I don't know why I can't even listen to All Too Well right now. Like I'm still a little
That's dark. Oh no, Bailey.
The love affair memed you too.
No, it was bad. Like I remember it all too well. Like we had the happiest times together. But it's okay.
2 weeks.
Stop it.
I'm gonna be honest. When Bailey told me about her 2-week love story, I cried. I
Lindsay
like
was
felt
so
really
upset.
emotionally attached to like her love story, and I was like, "What do you mean he broke up with you? Like, what the hell is this?"
We have to be strong for her.
I can't.
Yes.
Well, I feel like I'm in the opposite boat right now where I have 10 boyfriends.
Brandon's boys.
Yeah, Brandon's boys. I have 10 boyfriends and my ex-boyfriend's still my favorite one. Like, I really can't. Like, just like when you say the grass is greener, I'm like, is it though?
Your
like,
characters also crack me up because one, they're vastly different from each other.
Oh,
There is not a
absolutely.
single thread of common between any of them. Two, they're all over the country. I can't keep up with anyone. You're like, oh, well, this person's over here and that person's in. I'm like, Brandon, how do you know these people? Like, you really have a wide range of.
When I produce my show, I like to cast a diverse crew. That's all I can say.
Tea.
I have a lot of different character archetypes that I feel like need to be fulfilled. But damn, I might have to renew someone's contract from season 2.
Brandon.
I'm so sorry. So sorry. Enough on that.
I'm
Anyway.
so sick of this friend group.
Please, you've been listening to Ribs by Lord like every day.
No, it's insane.
know, like-
It's enough.
I fear the other day I was sitting on my carpeted bedroom just crying to Ribs by Lord. And like I really felt bad for myself. Like
I want him back.
I've felt bad for myself before, but like this was a moment that I was like, I'm in the worst position of anybody I know. Like Carrie from Sex and the City has nothing on me. She's never gone through this heartbreak the way I've gone through it. Like, babe, you got dumped 10 months ago. It's not your fault you don't have coping mechanisms. Like, I fear the mental illness is catching back up.
Did you listen to Happiness by Taylor Swift yet?
I didn't. It's on the list. It's on the
What
queue.
was the song? So we'll get into our Aspen recap in a second, but what was the song you were listening to when I got out of the shower? Because I'll paint you a picture. Me and Brandon had a really cute like morning. It was one of our last days in Aspen. We were just like having a cute like moment. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go shower before our day. We were in a great headspace. We were getting ready to go out. We were having fun. I get in the shower. I'm like, woo, we're going to go drinking. I get out of the shower and Brandon is sitting in the corner of the hotel room by himself on the ground blasting this song.
Do you have the video?
I do. It was a really
I feel
sad
like it was
TikTok
Noah
song.
Khan.
I think it was.
Drama.
I fear it was Noah Khan, and it might have been You're Gonna Go Far, which I've put in every TikTok of all my
Yeah, I haven't
success.
seen you run that one up.
You know I love that song. Oh no. Yep.
Is it-
It's definitely that. Yep. You gotta go.
Folding his launch.
Yep. Holding up it.
so
I just
sad.
like get really sentimental when I pack from a trip. I'm like, I want to I want to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great memory.
I think it's almost over.
It was.
But how was the start?
Aspen was
I
amazing.
hate that
It's
shit
crazy
up.
because life has been moving so fast that almost feels like it was a month ago. I'm like, what happened?
When did you guys get back? I feel like it's been a month.
Last Monday, so
got-
a week from today.
And it does not feel like a week. I think in this past week I've lived 3 months.
This past month, you've lived 6 lives.
This past
like-
month I've lived 6 lives. But it was great. It could not have been like any more opposite of our time last time. It was relaxing at some points, which is a crazy word to say. We like had time to settle in. We had time to settle out. We were way more connected this time. We knew the places to be. Fisher performed. I wish I could say one bad thing about the trip, but truly, like if someone were to ask me my peak in my pit, I don't have a pit. Like
Yeah.
genuinely,
Yeah.
it was a blast. Our flights on the way home were seamless. We had no drama at the Aspen airport. I think we were there for all of we were there for a while, but we were actually like after we got through security, we were only waiting for like 20 minutes before we got on our flight. Our flight left on time.
Period.
God was on my side.
Yeah, it was, and we stayed at a really nice hotel in the center of Aspen, which is so different from last time. We didn't stay far, but we had to take an Uber to get to the festival and to like get to the downtown part of Aspen. But this time we stayed right in the center of it, and we stayed at like the hotel to stay at. So it was so fun because we could literally just like walk out of our room and get to the festival, get to going out. It was so much easier to walk back and change. One night we ended up, should we just like go through the nights very briefly?
Yeah, I feel like the first night was like very run of the mill. Like not a lot of people had gotten there yet. It was a Thursday. We kind of just like branched out. We hung out with pop star Katie, another Philly creator. She now lives in New York, but we had a blast with her the whole weekend. Like I feel like there wasn't really anything to discuss.
not really, other than that was the first start of your Aspen boyfriends, because I do feel like you had quite a few Aspen
that's true.
boyfriends.
Yeah.
No.
So
This-
I did.
yeah, you
I
can-
did touch down in Aspen, and I opened Grindr, and I was like, "Let's see what we're working with here." We had Wayne, who was a 55-year-old. We had. I won't say his name, but he ended up being a character later. There was a few different like people, so that was like a nice exploratory.
But the guy we met at the restaurant, there was that guy.
Oh, and then we go to this restaurant. We go to Snow Lodge, and we meet this sexy ass man who's like this crypto bro, and he was like. He was straight, but giving very much like I would take it up the ass if you asked me to, like kind of just like very fluid in that area.
It was just the way that like, so we were all walking in. It was like me, Brandon, pop star Katie, and her friend Danny, and the 4 of us are walking in. And this guy like says something under his breath to us as we're walking in, kind of like hitting on the group, you know, like when a guy just makes like a sly comment.
He was sizing us up.
The way that Brandon's neck broke off of his body, whipped around, he said, "Who are you?" And he just went over and starts talking to this man. 10 seconds later, Brandon comes back over. He's like, "Look, I got his number." Like fully just in 10 seconds got this man's number. I was like, he's having a house party if we want to go after.
Tea.
I was like, what?
And he was great. He bought us a table that night, bought us drinks. I was networking. Absolutely. Yeah, so that was like Thursday. I feel like Friday, our bestie Liv came. We had such a good time with her. That was the first night of the festival. We met like all of the people from Celsius. We had such a good group with us.
Who performed that night?
Dom Dalla.
Kygo and Dom Dalla, which was like Dom Dalla was amazing. I mean, Kygo was amazing too, but like I'm a huge Dom Dalla fan, so I was really excited to see Dom. Literally ate it up. What did we do that night?
The one thing about the festival too that's really interesting, I guess, in comparison to like other festivals, is I feel like at least everyone in VIP like does not care about the music. Like they're just there for the vibe. So the way it's set up, like think about Aspen. When you think of it, you think of like the richest people. Like it's very wealthy. So like The VIP is massive. What might be like a very small VIP section at another festival, it is pretty much the whole festival is the VIP section because everyone there has money. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
it's massive. And they're all just there for the vibes and the drinks and the food. Like the music is a nice touch, but they're not there for the music really.
Yeah.
Like halfway through Dom Dalla, I forgot he was even on.
Yeah. No, 100%. And then like I feel like we didn't have.
That was the night that we met Odell Beckham.
Oh right, yes, we met OBJ for the second time.
Good
for
friend
me.
of yours.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
great.
right.
Y'all be going way
Honestly, he gave me his phone number that night. So
Did he?
Wow.
This
On the
was
couch?
it was in the way that it happened. So Brandon had met him in New Orleans, and I was like, oh my God, we saw him walking past, and he was by himself, like with no one else. Like I was like, what a random like side quest for him. Like we have to go meet him. So we walk over. He's in the middle of a conversation. Brandon, how long did we stand there and wait?
he was talking to these two fans of his, I guess, which great. I'm so glad that he's kind to his fans. He was not letting these fans go. Like I could tell these young gentlemen at one point were like trying to break away from him and go
really?
back to the festival.
I would have stayed there all
and
night.
Odell just
Let
kept
him
like
left.
looping them in. They must have taken 65 photos. Odell was taking selfies with them. They were taking them on Odell's phone. They were taking it on his phone. Then Odell was handing the phone to other people. At one point, I like politely go to insert myself, and one of the fans is like trying to grease me in, and Odell's like, "Hold on, we're not ready yet." And I'm just like, "Oh my goodness!" Like this is he's just fallen in love, I guess.
Wow.
And it was one of those things where we waited for so long. Like it was one of those like once we realized that we wanted to go back, it was like fuck, we've been waiting here like 10 minutes at this point, 15 minutes. We might. As
I
well
was
stick
committed. I was like, I'm not leaving. And then, of course, the second they leave, I have time to take one photo with him before one of the workers of the festival is like, you guys can't stand here. And then I'm like, come on, bro. He was just here for 15 minutes taking up all the foot traffic, and you're going to yell at me when I get my one moment. But I got the pic.
Yeah, as soon as we go to take the picture, Brandon, like, you go to pose for the picture. I take my phone out, and Odell doesn't want to take a picture. He goes, give me your phone. Let me put my number in it. We were like, what?
Wait, what? No. Back that ass up.
Swear to God.
What do you mean no?
He was like, I'm having a party tonight. Like, come and bring girls. Like, sorry, Odell. I'm just going to put you on blast. That's what you said.
That's what you said.
That's what he said. And I was like, okay. I mean, smart man. He saw I was surrounded by, like, blonde bitches. And he was like, give me your phone. Like, let's go.
Thank you, Mr. Beckham.
He didn't text me back.
Bend it
Yeah.
like Beckham.
But yeah,
But that was just such a funny random.
we had like fun hotel fun. I feel like that night we had like a fun friend group. Everyone like came back to our hotel room. We were just being like,
Well,
silly.
that's
How was
night.
the food first day? Sorry.
Food at the festival or just in.
Oh, we also went shopping.
Oh, yeah, we did.
They're
Yeah.
reliving the trip as they speak.
Literally.
I forgot about it, honestly.
Well, I was going to say that night, before we talk about you going shopping, that night, so our friend Liv had met a friend from LA, and he was with us for like the last half of the festival. And usually after the festival, everyone kind of like goes back to their hotels, changes into like night clothes, and then they all go out. So we go back up to the room, and Liv's like, can this guy come up with us? Like, we were literally just like changing and heading back out. We're like, yeah, sure. So he comes up, we're all changing and getting ready, and she comes into the bathroom and she goes, wait, his friends are in the lobby. Can they come up too? We think it's going to be like a casual, like one or two friends. 10, 15 people walk into our hotel room. Me and Brandon are running around trying to figure out what to wear. And literally 15 people walk into our hotel
I
room.
see my phone get unplugged. Someone goes to charge their vape. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Someone lays on the bed with their sneakers on. Brandon's like, shoes off the bed.
Oh, come on.
I was like, this is too much.
Yeah, but then we ended up going out and they ended up being really fun. So it
Yeah.
was a good time. But Brandon is right. Friday during the day, we did go shopping, and Brandon really made the most of Aspen's shopping.
Listen, if you ever come into some success in life and you want to shop, I recommend going to Aspen. They have the best stores
I bet.
I've ever been in my whole entire life. Like, you walk in there and you see pieces that you could only dream of that you are not finding anywhere else. There is a Revolve store with a whole rack from Forward, which is, I think, owned by Kendall Jenner, I just found out, of one-of-a-kind collection designer pieces. I am drooling at everything. I'm like, I need all of this. There's a Mad Happy. There's only 2 in the whole country. I'm like, we have to go. Like,
And he kept like asking me if he should get it. And I'm like, Brandon, I'm never going to tell you no. I can't afford this. I'm living vicariously through you. When the fuck would I say no to you buying something?
but the fucking Dior bag of it all.
Oh my God.
We are checking out at Revolve. All I did was buy $100 sneakers. I'm feeling really proud of myself. And I see they get a shipment, and I'm squinting, and I'm like, what is that? And she goes, oh, this? And I was like, yeah, what is that? She goes, this is a one-of-a-kind vintage saddle camouflage Dior bag. I go, give it to me. I put it on. It fits my fat ass arm like a glove. It matches perfectly with the outfit I've been trying on. I'm like, oh my God. So I take a quick picture of it. I'm like, I'll come back. I post on social media expecting everybody to be like, don't buy that. Because it legit can fit a lip gloss. Like, that is it.
All you need.
And truly, I got my Summer Fridays there. And I was like, wait a minute. Everyone's saying I should get it. I said, Casey, you turn. We're running back.
Oh, you went back.
The problem is, I unfortunately also purchased a very expensive item before that. And I didn't realize that my Apple Pay was set up for a $10,000 limit. This bag was bringing it over that $10,000 limit. So I'm so excited. I just got an Amex. I'm ready to get points on this purchase. I'm like, okay, I go to Apple Pay it up. Denied. I go, okay, I'll use the gold card. Denied. Let's try it again. Denied. At this point, we are crashing out.
No,
I
Brandon
have drank
has
so
7
much champagne in this store. Like, I got drunk. I was like, if I'm spending this money, like, I'm housey shit. I am burping. Nonstop.
Everywhere.
Like, not even burping. I'm like full on belching. Like,
And
I'm
it's
like,
so hot in there. This is at the end of our shopping day. So Brandon, I kid you not, has 7 bags. Ginormous bags. He bought a puffer from Mad Happy, so they gave him almost like a suitcase bag. He has 7 bags surrounding him at the register. He's chugging champagne, burping everywhere,
Christ.
sweating,
we
trying
have
his
4 miles on our health app at this point. I have
Tyler.
taken Casey up the mountain, back the mountain. I go, let's go back to this store. Let's go this store. Like, we
Do
were
you not have
exhausted.
your physical wallet with you with the cards?
I did, but I just signed up for Amex, so they were mailed to my house. So I only had them set up in Apple Pay.
Okay.
So I didn't have the physical cards. So I'm like, wait a minute, like, why isn't this working? And I literally call Amex. They go, there's no problem with your Amex. Like, you're totally within your limits. I'm like, so what's going on? And then I like Google and I'm like, oh my God, I have an Apple Pay. Like,
This was
thing.
after trying, I'm not kidding, over 10 times.
So
Were
I
you
just ended up
embarrassed?
humiliated.
Like,
I'm
when
like
your card
walking this
declined?
No,
big
that's
game.
so embarrassing.
I'm like trying to, and the girls like didn't care. They were
Yeah,
like,
they were so
like, I
nice.
mean, it's a $4,000 bag. Like, your card might decline.
Brandon was
it
like, I'm so sorry, I'm being poor right now.
I'm
And
like,
she was
I was like,
no.
play brokey by Lotto. Like, this just isn't working. Like, but I fear I just had to use the TD Bank card and I canceled it after that purchase. So it's fine. And I got the physical cards from Amex and I'm on a little of the shopping. I mean, I did some shopping today, but after today.
For all of that work, you
You're not
think
gonna stop.
you
No.
think this man would have taken much better care of this purse, but I fear he did absolutely not take care of that. We will talk about this mansion party in a second, but after all of that, after the social media, everything of this
Don't make me
bag,
seem out of touch.
this was like no, this was like a famous bag.
I'm gonna add on to it.
Great.
We're at this mansion party. I'm drinking. Brandon's at one end. I'm at the other. And I go to walk over to him and I step on something in my heels. Like my heel touches something. And I was like, what is this? And I look down and this fucking Dior bag, one of a kind, camo Dior bag, is just on the ground of this party covered in alcohol. I was like, Brandon. Now you were very drunk. So it was not like you were just like didn't care. But I like
Slipped off my shoulder.
I pick it up. I walk it over to you. I'm like, Brandon, your bag. He goes, oh my God, thank you so much. And just puts it right on his shoulder, dripping in alcohol.
You can't buy class. You can't buy class. I fear I have a Dior bag, but I still act like I am from where I am from.
Wait, at one point, I don't want to skip over this story because let's go in order. But at one point, Brandon asked me to hold his bag at an event, and I was really excited to participate in a portion of the event where I had to put the bag down like extremely quickly. And I, out of like excitement, I threw the bag on the ground alongside my bag. And then after I realized I threw his nice bag on the ground, I said, oh, Brandon, I'm so sorry. I just threw your bag on the ground. He goes, it's okay. And Aspen Casey stepped on it. She spilled on it. He's like, it's okay. This bag has been through so much. I said, okay.
It builds character.
It does.
She needed a personality.
Wear and tear.
Yeah. But yeah, Saturday was amazing. Fisher played.
Oh my
Just
God.
like, I love that man.
I bet. Yeah.
Love that man bad. Just an excellent set. Really have no.
No notes.
Also, we decided so in LA, when all 4 of us went, we watched Selling Sunset. And I told Casey on the plane, I said, a really good hotel show is Summer House. And we sat on Saturday, everyone was skiing. Casey and I did not leave the beautiful Aspen Hotel, I don't think until 3 p.m. We watched, I think, 7 episodes of Summer House just in bed. And then we went to the pool and we got drinks and we made
was
friends
so
with married
nice.
couples. It was a blast.
It sounds beautiful.
Your fits on this trip were like, honestly, some of the best outfits I've ever seen both of you in. Like,
Thank you
Casey
so
blew
much.
up on
About
social
it.
media, and
That means so
Brandon,
much to me.
like, I mean, yeah, you're always blown up on social media, but like, it was crazy.
You want to know
Yeah.
the difference? is because I knew that this trip was coming, so I had time to prepare. Like I bought my outfits like 3 weeks in advance, which I never do. This friend group is known for it being 2 days before an event and all of us texting,
Some
hey,
of us buy them at the event.
does
You know
anyone know
what?
what we're
Actually,
wearing?
no.
So like the fact that I was like like I actually had time to like find an outfit, put it all together, got stuff delivered that I didn't like, sent it back, got different stuff. So I'm going to start doing that more often. I doubt I'll ever do it again because I'm so last minute, but I'm going to try.
Anyway, so after Saturday, we see Fisher twice. We see him at the festival, then we go backstage at his after show. And our friend Olivia was like, there's a house party. And I'm like, I like can't really picture what this house party is going to look like. Like, I don't really know what houses in Aspen really look like. So we decide, let's try it out. Like, let's leave the town. The bars are kind of congested and there's only so many bars. It's like going to the shore for like the third night in a row. Like that's how it was. So it's like at this point, we've
seen all we can see.
We've seen all we can see. So we show up to this party. And it was like going to a party in LA. Like it really reminded me of the night that we all went to Off Sunset in LA. We like show up, there's a valet, there's security. And Casey's like, guys, that's Corey Gamble, just like standing outside. So we're like, what's going on? We like walk into this party. I see Braxton. And he's like, we're leaving. We have an early flight tomorrow, but like, you're going to have so much fun in there. He's like, the party's at its peak. And we're all just like, what does that mean?
Music to my ears.
We walk in, electric vibes, full-blown DJ, every A-list influencer, celebrity you could imagine right there, full bartender that's serving drinks for free, like just like nuts. And then the owner's like telling Casey, oh yeah, like we're gonna go till 7 a.m. I'm like, oh wow.
It was like crazy too, because it was just like you walked up these like beautiful spiral staircase and the bar was right there, and then it was just like a huge dance floor, and it's like. And if you like know LA houses, how they all have like indoor outdoor living where like one wall is essentially all windows, like that's what this had. So like one wall was just all open windows. So you could see out on the balcony. People were out on the balcony. And then there was these really like sexy couches, like this ginormous U shape of couches. And that was it. There was no bedrooms, no hallways, no nothing. It was genuinely just a dance floor, the couch, and 2 bathrooms.
But it was just nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know,
like,
yes.
It would be like if Gossip Girl met Euphoria.
I can
Yes.
picture it.
Yes.
I can really picture it.
Yeah. So like because like, you know in Euphoria, they all just like sit on a couch and get like fucked up. Like there's all these rich people just like slumped. So Casey and I are like sitting, we're next to like the owner of Palm Tree Festival. And I like grip up her hand because Fisher walks in. I go, oh my God, the way I broke my neck to get us backstage and I could have just had one-on-one time with him. Like just
He just
unreal.
walked in and like it is a party where you have to know the address to get in. Like so like it's just he wasn't like with security. He wasn't like he just was at a party chilling.
Wait, I have a question. Speaking of getting in, so like you see on your typical like movies how they'll have like security at the door and it's like names and there's like a list.
Was not like that.
You could just roll
You
up.
could
Well,
just
here's
roll
the
up.
funny
The
thing.
address you're
So
in.
it was like that. Like we just walked in. We didn't like literally talk to anyone. We just bypassed Corey Gamble and walk right in. You might not know this part, Brandon, because you were off on your own adventure for this whole
I
thing.
don't remember this.
So we're at the party and our friend Liv is having such a good time. So she texts this group of guy friends that we were like hanging out with. She's like, hey, come to this party. So they're like, okay, we're in our Uber. Then they start texting and they're like, we're stuck on the mountain. There's so much traffic. The security guards are walking to every car and asking who we know here, like, or else we can't get in. So Liv knew whose party it was. So she gives them like a quote unquote exclusive name. And she's like, tell them you know this person, it'll get you in. They text back, it didn't work. We're like, oh shit. So Liv and I go downstairs and they open the door. There is a line of like 20 people. And
No
they're like,
way.
they're like begging to get in. They're like, I know this person. And the bouncer just shuts the door and we're on the other side. And he goes, you guys trying to leave? And we're like, no, we're just trying to get our friends out there. He was like, good luck. They're not coming in. So this goes on for like 15, 20 minutes.
I was not part of this
This is
side
when
quest.
there were so many people there. The cops ended up coming. So there's cops downstairs, and this is when I went out on the balcony to like look over and see what everything was. And I happened to be standing next to the owner, and he just looks down at me and he goes, "Don't be worried about the cops. This party's going till 7 a.m." I was like, okay.
Is the
Wow,
owner
Project
hot?
X.
The owner, there's 2 owners. The owner of the actual house is different than the guy who was like kind of running the party, but he was a very, very old, like white man with like flowy, like he looked like he was just
Really rich, does a lot of coke.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
So we like 20 minutes go by and only one of Liv's friends walk upstairs. And I was like, oh, where are the rest of them? And he was like, I'm the only one that got in. I left them outside.
Mood.
I was like, damn,
wow.
you really just ditched your friends like
Where
that.
was I?
You were having your own little adventure with your guest star that you brought to the party.
Oh, yes. So I guess my man, who I invited from Grindr, got there 5 minutes just in time because he had no problem getting to the front door. I decide all these celebrities are here. I don't care. I still want cheeks. So I invited this young man from Grindr who works for Aloe Yoga. And I was like, great, networking again. Got PR today. Hey. And I passionately was making out with this man in front of Ashton Earl, in front of Corey Gamble, in front of everybody. He was a great kisser.
There was a point where like Brandon was making out with this guy on one side of me and Liv and this other guy were having a moment on the other side. And I was literally just sitting on a high top stool with my legs kicking just by myself. I was like, wow, I've got nothing to fucking do. Both my friends are getting fucked and I'm just sitting here. But it was honestly insane. Seeing Corey Gamble just out was like,
Yeah, where's Chris?
right?
Like, where is Chris?
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
But it was just
it.
crazy to like live that life for a weekend. I'm like, damn, some of these people live this life every single fucking weekend.
The way people just like talk is just like so rich. Like, where do you summer? In my apartment. Like, where, like, maybe sometimes in Wildwood. Like,
Literally.
I don't. When summer becomes a verb, I fear we're in different tax
Yeah.
brackets. I like when someone says where are you summering? Like, babe, I almost summered at the Horsham Clinic last summer. Like that's where my headspace is at. We're very different, I fear.
We had like a booth at the festival and I kept just like leaving my purse on the booth and running and exploring. And I was like, damn, absolutely no one's trying to steal my purse. I'm the poorest person in this place. I was like, I could leave my purse wide open with each of my credit cards out and absolutely no
and
one
like
is
just
taking
conversations at like dinners. Like, do you guys want to come up to Newport this weekend? Like, Casey has a job. Like, she's got kids at home. She's feeding kids in Uganda. Like, no, we can't just do that. Like, I was like, yeah, like, this is crazy.
Damn.
And I'm like, oh, like, are you guys here for the weekend? No, this is my father's like winter home. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
It was
So I don't have
$500
a
to
dad.
ski.
Yeah, $500 to just ski for the day.
It's like, oh, we go to Jack Frost in like Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, you guys aren't
$60.
skiing today? I'm like, no, I'm not paying $500 to be miserable on a mountain. No, thank you.
But that was Aspen.
Yeah.
Wait, really quick. Do you think that Kris Jenner knows who you are? I feel like if she met you, she'd be like, hi, doll, I love your TikToks. You know what I mean? Like, can you picture it?
I fear I can't speculate.
I want to know, Chris.
I will say, like, if anything, she's definitely seen you before. Like, there's no way she hasn't.
It is
Especially
really funny. Like, I guess we'll give like a little tea here. There's one very large creator that refuses to follow me back. And I know that they watch all of my content and they come up to me in Aspen. It was like they had an MLA format written about me. Congratulations on being 6-month panic attack free, all of this stuff. And I'm like, so you know exactly who I am. You bring up the fact that I just went out with your best friend that we are mutuals with, and you refuse to hit the follow back button. Very interesting. The photos that we have taken together have never gotten a comment on them, have never gotten a repost. So I do think that maybe some celebrities do know about me and they don't share, but you know, we each have our methods.
Right.
Well,
I will say one last thing about Aspen, and then we can talk about everything else because we also have a million fucking other things to catch up on. We had heard through the grapevine, through a very exclusive source, that Travis Kelce had a VIP ticket to the music festival.
I forgot about this.
And I was determined. I was like, I will see Travis Kelce. I don't care how many other famous people we're surrounded by. I absolutely need to see this man. I'm telling you, every man that looked even remotely over 6 foot, I was like, Brandon, is that him? Brandon, is that him? I was freaking out. There was one point where I made Brandon stare at this man for 10.
Like backstage.
No,
like Fisher's going on. Casey goes, that's him. That's him.
I'm like,
I go, like, is it? I'm like, I don't think it is.
I'm like, no, Brandon, I really think it is. I'm making him, every time he looks away, I'm like, no, look again. Like, I really think it's him. We never saw him, but I was really hoping we would.
unfortunately, him and Taylor are on some private island in the Bahamas right now.
Really?
Yes, she is. It's like she's on
Here
her.
she goes.
She's like on her longest Instagram social media strikes like since Reputation.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, girls, it's coming back.
Do you think that like this social media strike is coming in the wake of Blake Lively? Like, do you think that like she's kind of like backing off because that's her bestie? And
Well,
like,
it might be that the Super Bowl. She did the Eras tour for 15 years. I feel like it was like so.
she has been through a lot.
There's been so like she got destroyed on social media after the Super Bowl. I mean, people were just
What
being,
so?
I mean, because people like to hate her and like Travis. I mean, people didn't. I feel like people didn't want to see the Chiefs win, and so
Yeah.
that they didn't, and it was a horrible loss, and like it was just so like it's easy to attack people just for that.
Hey, listen to Evermore. She's an Eagles fan.
No, literally.
And like
stream
even
midnights.
if like she was an Eagles fan, I know that was a big thing. People were like, she grew up from PA, she should be an Eagles fan. As someone who follows the NFL, like players can't necessarily choose where they get traded to. Like it's not. If I
Mature
were
of you to say.
But like if I was dating an NFL player, of course I would love to be like, oh, I'm only going to date an Eagles fan. Like I'm only going to date an Eagles player. But like there is a very real chance, even if I did date someone who played for the Eagles, that if he got traded, he would go somewhere else. Like you can't control that. And
Bruh.
people were like acting like she put him on the Chiefs. Like
I'm not gonna say anything bad about us Eagles fans, but the way they came for Alex Cooper because she did a show in Dallas and wore a Dallas jersey like every artist ever does when they tour. They're like, she could have worn their hockey jersey. Like she can't say she's an Eagles fan. I'm like, I respect it. You know what?
yeah, that is a rule. I will never wear a Dallas jersey like Dallas Cowboys, but I could wear the basketball team or like also it's not that big of a deal. Like
like she's making.
it is a big deal to some people. It is a big deal to me, but it's not a big deal to Alex Cooper, who like is a businesswoman. That's not her
Right.
job.
I know,
Like,
it was insane.
Speaking of Eagles, y'all met some Sixers the other day, huh?
Oh my God. So Lindsay and I had quite a Thursday. I will
Yeah.
say it is one of the best nights I've had with Miss Lindsay in quite some time.
Let's hear about it.
I got invited to the Sixers Youth Gala, and they emailed me last minute. They were like, do you want to come and interview the team? And I'm like, absolutely. Like, let's go. So I text Lindsay, we are having a ball. We get to interview all the players. Is there anything you want to add from that behind the scenes lore?
I think it gave us a really interesting like perspective of the players. Like the basketball players are so funky because you're either like a full blown hooper where you're like, yeah, I'm so cool, or you're like Jared McCain where you're like, I'm a hooper, but like here's my personality. So it was cool to see that. Not gonna say his name. There is one Sixers player who is just sensationally dreadful, horrible energy, horrible aesthetic, 0 out of 10.
So rude to
Rude to
anybody
children.
who put like any time into like interviewing. Yeah, like
He
it
was
just-
horrible.
But but one of one because everyone else was so incredibly kind and so
Maybe
just like
having a bad day too.
Yeah.
I felt really awkward because at one point Kelly Oubre's wife was with him, and I could not stop looking at this woman. Like I went up to her and I said, I don't mean to sound weird, but like you are truly the hottest person I've ever seen. Like she looked so airbrushed that I was embarrassed of myself. Like I was like, I can't believe I left my house today. Like there are people that look like this. Like I was pissed.
was she? So one, were the players like super? Obviously, they're very tall, but were they like shockingly tall? Because I've seen.
Massive.
yes.
Was his wife very small?
Tiny, cute, best teeth I've ever seen. Great makeup, hair, body. It was giving.
Wait, sidebar. Have you ever seen that picture of Jeanette McCurdy and
Yes.
that NBA player she dated at one point? I forgot who it was. Amari. I forgot what wasn't him, but
Yes.
yeah, it's like reminded me of a small.
That's
big
it. Because
one.
I've seen pictures of football players next to NBA players, and they're like, football players are huge, but even they look small next to these tall guys. So like, I can't imagine your little asses standing
Yeah.
next
Oh,
to
yeah.
them.
Wait,
Like,
this was so funny. At one point, Brandon is like, okay, walk me through the players. Because I come from a basketball family. So I'm like, you have your top tier icons. Like you have your Michael Jordans, your Allen Iversons. I was like, you have level 2 of the icons that still play. So like if Kobe were alive, he would play. You have Bran. I said, then you have like the people under them who are like recognizable household names. Like your kid might have their jersey in a case in their basement. I said, that's like your Paul Georges, like your Joel Embiid's. Like those are people who people
I know
recognize.
you know basketball. Come
I
on
do
now.
a little bit.
Let's talk about it.
When that happened, I'm like walking him through the players. He had just finished interviewing Paul George. And this blonde, like aggressive lady comes out and she's like, everybody move, move. There's literally 15 of us in here. Like this is not a press event that's crowded. Allen Iverson walks into the
was
room.
crazy.
Brandon looks at me, he goes, who is that? I go, Brandon, it's Allen Iverson, huh? He was really nice to the kids.
crazy.
He was great.
Wow. That's literally like he's in the Philadelphia like royalty
He
like
he
level.
changed
Like,
basketball. Like he's
So-
crazy.
Then Lindsay and I, we make a few side quests. We go to the Jefferson Ball. I'm host a raffle there. We go to Vinyl to pick up actually our check from our live show. We're kikiing in the backstage of Vinyl. I literally felt like I was on that movie Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Like I was like, this is just like so much fun. Like we're on a night out. And then we go on a tour of the Neighborhood. And we start at U-Bar. I knew I was on some shit because I don't know if you remember this. The second I walk into U-Bar, I start smooching this man. Like he literally, remember that? We were talking right when we walked in. He's like, "Hey, how are you?" And we just started kissing. It was very brief. You were like, you also were pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're chatting everything up. People are being like a little bit annoying about Lindsay being at U-Bar. I don't know if you
people
want
are
to
being
speak at that.
flat out rude. Like every June I put on rainbows and I stand outside because I believe in equality. And every time I walk into U-Bar, and it's the same guy every single time. So if you're watching the podcast, hi. It's the same guy every single time. And he goes, "I didn't know they let girls in here." This isn't 1960. It doesn't say gays.
It's
only
also
on the
not
door.
bike stop. Like people are not getting fucked in U-Bar. Like
I
it's
also
not,
don't care.
Like
I
this
don't
isn't
care.
a jockstrap bar, and it's a Thursday night. It's not like I brought like 30 girls in. It was literally me and Lindsay, and there were other girls in there too. It was just like annoying. Like honestly, it's like just whatever.
He's whack.
But then let's get back to the Dior bag.
Who say you don't have a dick?
Or that I'm not
Honestly,
a lesbian.
What the fuck?
Like what?
But then things get worse.
Wait a second.
Then things get worse, I fear. We go to Tavern on Kamak. I have a nice little performance. I'm singing. And I'm just so excited to see this gentleman at the bar. And I'm like, "Oh my God, hi." And I slam down the camouflage Dior bag. I'm so excited that he's here. I'm so excited to begin chatting it up. I just had a great performance. I'm in a great mood. So, I guess I aggressively slammed my bag down on the counter. And then I said to the bartender, who was in the middle of something like not a transaction. He was like looking at maybe like a bar tab or something. I was like, "Excuse me, could I get an Aperol Spritz?" And he kind of gave me this look and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to like interrupt you. Like, I hope that didn't come across entitled." And he goes, "Yeah, it kind of did after you slammed your bag down." I go, "Oh." So then he walks up, and keep in mind, I've had a little scandal with Fido recently, so I don't want any drama at this point. I am not trying to build a reputation here. I'm also in a fantastic mood, and I am drunk this time, so I am not about to mouth off to this worker. He comes up to me and goes, "What can I get you?" I go, "I'm good." Because at this point, what I'm not going to do is give him money, though. So I'm like, I'm all set. Like, you know what? I don't think I was rude, but even if I was, you can have it. I'm not taking it. I look and Lindsay's seething. And I go,
No, like I'm pissed.
I go, was I like not in the wrong? Like, I don't think I was in the wrong, but like check me if I was. And then I guess you can kind of tell your side of things.
I don't side with wrong, even if it is my friends. I say that to Brandon all the time, but it's like, Brandon was so cute. He's on the microphone singing. He goes, "Lindsay, get me an Aperol Spritz." And I'm like, "Oh, this is so cute." So like the bouncer hears, or the bouncer, Fido. The bartender hears him like singing that he wants an Aperol Spritz, blah, blah, blah. We're with this hot man. As Brandon says, he throws his bag down. This guy's just a douche. Like he's just rude. So I'm sitting there seething and I'm like, "Oh, like Lindsay, just leave. Like you don't have to cuss anyone out tonight. Like just." And Brandon looks at me and he goes, "Do it." And I said, "For real?" And he goes, "Do it." And I said, "All right, I'm going to do it." I go over to the other side of the bar and I go, "Excuse me." And I was being very kind. Like this was nice Lindsay.
Polite.
Kind Lindsay came out. I said, "Excuse me." I said, "That was hard to watch. I think it was just a miscommunication." I said, "That gentleman over there, he was just really excited to spend time with him. And him throwing his bag down had nothing to do with you." And he goes, he starts to like get back, like to talk back at me. Like
He called you
aggressively.
passive.
And that is my biggest peeve because passive aggression is something I don't do. I'm either rude as hell or I'm nice. I'm never going to be passive to you.
You
I'm
weren't
just gonna be
passive, you were just
aggressive.
polite.
Yeah, I was trying to be kind. I didn't want to start problems. And I just looked at him and I said, full blown how my therapist is like, tip for the girlies. If someone's pissing you off, it's always better instead of to engage with like violence or yelling at them to say, "Are you okay? What, did I do something to you? What's wrong?" So I said to him, I said, "Oh, sir, you're not a nice person." Then I was passive because like, screw you.
That's not, honestly, that's aggressive. Like,
I was like, "You're not a nice person." He goes, "You're not a nice person." I said, "Okay, dickhead." And I walked out. Like,
and then someone
him.
told us that he was on steroids and that kind
yeah,
of
they're like, "That guy's a steroid," like, whatever.
I would have been like, wait.
The
is there
bar was
something in
also
your tooth?
dead too.
Dead.
There was nobody in there. Like we and Lindsay were his sole customers, and he walked us out of the bar.
Oh, at one point I was like, "I think it's really rude to treat patrons like this." He goes, "Oh, patron, you ordered a free water."
Like-
Oh, okay.
For a second, she sat down and ordered a water while her friend is performing.
Like, sorry, I want to order a drink.
Like, sorry, what is she sober? What?
Yeah, that's
No.
Anywho, but we had a great night. Then we went to Voyeur. We were the only people in there, had a great kiki. And then we did end up going to Bike Stop, and I had a great time there as well.
And the Bike Stop boys were very nice to me.
Good.
Smashing good time. And then, we went out Friday too.
Yeah, we did. We did El Camino.
Yeah.
Brandon was hurting this day though because you were just going through it.
I was going through some things.
Yeah, so
Friday
we had to
afternoon.
Yeah, so we had to do El Camino.
Wait, Friday.
Yeah,
Kristen's
we had
engagement.
Yeah, we had an engagement party. So
Yikes.
went out again. Brandon had to smoke a cigarette.
I did. Listen, I do not believe in using substances to cope with anything.
Nicotine is
However,
not a substance.
There was
Yes, it is.
there was a threshold that unfortunately I have not succeeded many times in my life, but this was one of those moments where a cigarette was like a crisp water after a night out. Like when your throat is cotton mouth and dry and you can taste the alcohol and you just get a nice jug of ice water. That is what this Marlboro Light was doing for me.
It sure did.
I felt the tension in my bones. I said this was worth the 11 minutes it took off my life, because you know what? I would have spent these 11 minutes so miserable, and I'm glad to trade it in. And boy, oh boy, I had a second one.
Period.
It's great.
Brother. You gotta get rid of those. You guys gotta kick that habit.
But yeah, we saw our
Horrid
friends
one.
who were in love, tie the knot, go on to the next journey of their lives. I'm happy for them too.
Bitter.
I love seeing another LGBTQ
Are you about to
couple
cry?
make it. No. I always like to say that gay people are 10 years behind. So seeing someone my exact age, moving on, it's just, shows me that maybe I'm not investing my time and energy into the right resources. But like I said, I'm happy for them. What did we do after that?
We went out again. I feel like we don't need
Yeah, I
to
don't
recap
know.
that. People don't.
okay.
Y'all get it.
Yep.
There's a lot going on in social media though, so let's get on to that.
Yeah.
Bailey's like, speed it up.
this month has just been like the fact that February is finally over.
You
Like
mean Black History Month's finally over?
And what did you get?
I
for
walked
us?
right into that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, unrelated to that, this month has just been insanely busy. Like, think about us winning the Super Bowl does feel like 3 months ago. Like,
Oh, that was February.
this month has just been so busy and insane. And then like social media has been crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, when does it end?
No.
When do we get a break? I would just
don't.
need one break, 1 5-minute break where no one talks to me and no one tells me any new information. That's it.
Literally, I turned my phone off the one day because I was like, I just need to I don't need to start a conversation with anybody. Like, just let me be.
That was crazy because you text back real quick, and I was like, Bailey hasn't answered me in like 12 hours.
I just couldn't.
I'm just going to say
Fix me.
something vulgar. We don't normally talk about this on the podcast, but let's break the fourth wall. I've been so busy, I haven't even had time to masturbate. Like, it has just been so crazy. Like, I get in bed and I'm like, I have not opened X in 3 days. I don't even know what's going on
That's
with my
how you
favorite
know.
performers. Yeah. Like, I feel so behind. I'm just getting OnlyFans things renewed and I'm not even seeing the new content. Like, I'm so happy to pay those hard earning patrons for their duties, but damn, like,
Girl,
I've
you've
been on
busy.
tour.
You need to pause your subscription.
I need
Wait,
to
you
pause.
subscribe to OnlyFans?
I know what's going on. With
There's a
that.
few special people that I feel like really earn their money.
Interesting. Okay.
Is that a problem?
Not at all.
I support sex workers.
Bro, I didn't say it was a problem. I just didn't know this about you.
No.
Don't try to make
Anywho.
me seem like
What's
that.
been on everyone's FYP? Because
Death.
only.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Everyone's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a few people came up to me at this engagement party because I looked very sad and I was in a corner and everyone was like, what's wrong? And I said, I'm just really sad about Michelle Trachtenberg. And I was on a deep dive. And I really am because like 1, Ice Princess is one of my favorite childhood movies. 2, Gossip Girl. And 3, I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So like I was a Michelle Trachtenberg like ride or die. And like I just think it's like really sad to like see someone at such a young age with so much talent like just, pass away. It was hard. That one hit me. Like, I haven't felt that impacted by a celebrity death, I don't think, since Brittany Murphy died in 2009. And like, that gutted me. This one was really like, I was very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it always I don't know. They always say everything gets more appreciated after you die, and like it is sad to think like everyone in this world has probably gone so many years without thinking about her in Ice Princess or Gossip Girl or any of these things, and then to be reminded like of how impactful she was in the show and in Ice Princess and all these things, it's like, oh, I wish that like humans had the ability to like appreciate things while they happen. It's hard because you have life and everything goes on. It's not possible to think about everything all at once, but it like makes you wish you could.
I guess like
so
I don't
true.
want to like speak on it because like we don't really know the full story of what happened, but I do think it's just like another telltale sign of like early 2000s did not set up those women in Hollywood for success. Like I'm sure as we hear more and more, like there will be deeper talks about that, but it's just like another super talented woman who had her like prime in the early 2000s. I just feel like we failed her. Anyhow.
So sad. On to brighter days. This past weekend or whenever it was Heath and Mariah. Heath, who saw Mariah Motto's wedding, and they're influencers, and they are co-hosts of Unfiltered. And I love that podcast. So I've been following their journey forever. So seeing that wedding, and it was in Jersey, which was like, I mean, so close to us. We went out Friday night. I got home and I was like crocodile tears sobbing over their relationship because I'm just, it's so, I don't ever like cry. I mean, I do cry a lot, but like watching their love, and he got like, Mariah has such a good relationship with God, and like Heath got baptized the morning after their wedding. I cried about that because I'm like just seeing like Heath was a partier, like smoking cigs, drinking. He turned his full life around now and like doesn't drink or anything. Like it's just so special.
We're
I'm
next.
Like, yep. My one true love. I don't know. I just like was so happy, and like their wedding is all over my free feeds. Like they have searches, and I'm like, damn, like I want to have a wedding one day where like everyone is saying good things about it. So yeah.
It was really
That
cute.
should be me.
Tate McRae's been popping off.
Oh my God, that's the only thing on my free page. I think I've sent Bailey about 20 posts at this point. Like her body is just
I tried doing that revolving door trick.
incredible.
I have, there's weird, so I have some Tate McRae hate on my FYP.
What? Send me their address.
Someone
Get the
like
IPs.
has said, how does she eat every time yet is still, like how does she serve every time but she's still starving? And it was a very weird discourse that a lot of people in the comments were hyping up, and they're like, this is exactly how it is to describe her. Like she's so close, but yet she's just never gonna make it, which I think is like very weird to say because I feel like she's kind of already made it.
Yeah.
But
I feel like the only thing I see people hate on are her outfits.
Yeah.
Like people aren't fans of them, but I think in the year of like the girly girls, like in everyone, Sabrina, Chappell Roan, Taylor Swift, everybody, the list goes on and on. There's millions of girls taking over music. They all serve different purposes. Let them live in their lanes.
It is-
She doesn't have to be a fashion
Exactly.
girly.
Yeah.
no, 100%.
She's a dancer.
Something that wasn't hate that I just thought was really funny was I'm a big giggler, so I was listening to Hannah and Paige's podcast Giggly Squad, and they were saying how Tate McRae is really stuck in blonde hair, like blonde and brown, and they were like she needs to commit to one or the other to like really solidify. And I kind of like
brunette would look
yeah,
great
like
on her.
I love her hair too, but they're like historically like every pop star has either like one solid color hair, like blonde, brunette, and they're like if she wants to continue with the Britney like comparisons, like she needs to just fully send the blonde or go brunette. And I kind of thought that was an interesting take.
Yeah.
Not saying I agreed to it, but like maybe the blonde is holding her back.
I just think her body is so incredible that she could be bald. She could have purple mohawk, and I would be like, she's eating. She's the hottest girl I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my life. Like, I think her body is the way she dances. Oh my God, I can't. I'm
She's
gonna
a pop
start to be
star.
creepy.
No, she's so. What do you have to say?
Lindsay's cooking up something.
Sometimes when like we talk about music, like I get like Brandon sent me a TikTok today of Miley Cyrus, and he goes, "We didn't talk about this. Dissect the vocals." And I was like, "Okay, let me give you my thoughts on this." Tate McRae, like if you take her aesthetic out of it, because anybody can have aesthetic, you can be Charlie XCX and not be a vocalist whatsoever, and still eat absolutely down. Tate McRae, like if you were to build a pop star, she is the quintessential, like ideal pop star. Like number one, she can dance. Like she doesn't need dance lessons. She's been taking them since we saw her on Dance Moms. And number two, vocally, like if you watch Tate McRae's warm-ups, which is something I appreciate about her as an artist, like she'll always post those kind of behind the scenes. Ariana Grande does it too, where they'll like take apart their vocals. Like Tate McRae can sing. She has a nasally voice, and if you don't like her voice, I understand that. But at the end of the day, like you can't say Tate McRae can't sing. She can carry a tune. Like, and when you put those together, mixed with the fact that she's hot, I'm like, girl, like this is a pop star. I will agree with you on the hair though. She does need to pick a direction.
I think she needs to commit.
I'm seeing Megan Fox very dark for her.
Yeah.
Like super, super
I think
dark.
you're
100%.
skin
Not
tone.
100% black, but like a
I see
dark
that.
brown. You don't see it.
I don't at all. I kind of love this era for her. I feel like it like makes her skin tone look really nice and bronzed and goddessy, but I think she could eat that
So you
up.
think
No,
she
to be
should keep
clear,
the
no
bronze?
one is saying
Yes.
her hair color looks ugly.
Right.
I think if she was an influencer, everyone would be like, hair on fleek. I
Right.
think for the pop star, I get it. She does. I feel like she needs to commit. She needs to go blonde or brunette.
Yeah, I could see it.
Is she
I'm
going on
interested in
tour? Because I would love to.
She
go.
is.
She is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw
coming
her
to
sign.
Philly.
She's going on Wells Fargo, yeah.
Wait, let's go.
Hey, Tick Pick.
Okay.
Um,
Everyone practice their back bends and their
Does
aerials.
anyone have an immunity necklace?
I have one.
Oh.
Do you have?
Oh.
I have one.
Okay.
So this immunity necklace, and I will start off with the disclaimer, it's immunity necklace, so we don't really need those. But I do know that sometimes it comes from a place of love, so I understand. But we need to normalize not asking people when they're getting married. When are they proposing? When are you getting engaged? When is it happening? You don't need to know that. First off, why the fuck are you asking me? If everything's going to plan, I shouldn't know anything. I shouldn't have any idea when I'm getting proposed to. So don't ask me when it's happening. I'm not supposed to know that information. So that's first off. Two, what if I don't want to get married? I, prior to knowing my boyfriend, never thought I would see myself getting married. Now that I'm in love, I do see us getting married, but we want to elope. We don't want to have a traditional wedding. Like, it's different for me. It's not a traditional proposal. And when I went away on my trip, the amount of DMs were like, "Did you pack something white? Waiting for the Instagram post. Oh my God, I can't believe you didn't get engaged." Like, that is a special thing between me and my boyfriend that we want to do when we're ready, whether we are ready now or not at all, or in 5 years or like it doesn't matter. It's our relationship, and I feel like people asking is so like just makes it uncomfortable.
Someone asked me, they were like,
Yeah.
"Is Casey getting engaged on this trip?" And I was like, "Am I a bad friend?" Because like, I don't think so. One
Yeah.
and two, like, I don't really talk to Casey about that kind of stuff.
Right,
Like,
because
when
I'm not
she's-
in that
yeah.
part of my life yet. Like, I'm just not, that's not where I'm at. And I feel like that question just makes it super awkward, especially when people ask it when I'm with my partner. Like, when me and Jake are together and people are like, "Oh, when are you getting," like when we were in Key West, this guy was like, "Oh, what anniversary is it?" Like, assuming we were married, which I get. Like, we were taking an anniversary trip. We're like, "Oh, we're not married yet. It's just our 3 years." And he was like, "When's it happening?" And started like grilling Jake about it. And I'm like,
Mind your goddamn business.
yeah, like, one, I'm standing right here.
Maybe
Like,
when Trump isn't president, like, maybe not. Like, I wouldn't want to get married during that administration.
yeah, like it's just, and I think we've normalized like asking girls too much, and we need to make it
It's the
private
patriarchy.
again.
Yeah.
They just want you pimped out on a fucking baby machine, like just annoying as hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
and also I feel like it also comes from like insecure girls who like kind of want to compete and be like, "Oh, like, are you getting popped to yet?" Because like they feel like they should be getting popped. The question to.
I love your feminism era.
No, I just think it's so true. And
such
like
a girly.
when like people were like asking me about Casey, I'm just like, y'all are so whack. Like,
I think it goes the same for like asking kids about people
about their
about
kids.
kids as well, or like, "Oh, are you trying? Like, are you guys actively
which
fucking?"
is crazy.
That's what I think. That's like I think the term like, "Are you like trying?" Like, yeah, like I'm hitting it raw. Like that's a weird thing to like, and also like you don't know anyone's
Right.
background and like
So
I think
loaded.
that's crazy. Yeah, it's a loaded. Both are both loaded questions to ask.
Oh, that's a horrible expression. Are you guys trying? I never thought
Yeah,
about
That's
it.
like
are
a-
we
like,
trying?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like so common. It's like people ask it like it's like, "What are you getting for dinner? What are you ordering off the menu?" And it's like,
Right.
especially the kid one. It's like that is a loaded question. People could be struggling with fertility for years, and you're gonna like
Yeah.
make them answer in such a weird way, or even like you just never know what people are going through. So stop asking personal questions in public.
Yeah, what if you just had an abortion?
Right.
Oh, are you trying?
Or something.
Or like even for the marriage thing, like what if me and my partner had just gotten into a horrific fight about
Yes.
it, and you're about to bring it up, and now it's
Yeah.
making it more like. Don't ask personal questions in public.
I think it just goes back to understanding that people are more interesting than their relationships.
Yes.
Like there's a million different things you can ask that are not about people's successes, people's relationships. Like if you have people skills, you will be able to find another thing to talk about other than my personal life. Like it's just like touch grass.
Yeah.
I have an unsolicited rec.
What is it?
Laugh at yourself. And I have been thinking about this. We run into our friend at the airport on the way to Aspen, and he's telling us about this girl that he's like dating or starting to talk to again. And it's sounding a little bit like a girl that he used to date before. And he just looks at me and Casey, he goes, yeah, I like to find a girl to traumatize me and then say send to the exact same person again. Like I like to heal from a trauma and then relive it over and over again. You know what? As long as you can own your shit and you can laugh at it. And I think in the spirit of hitting 1 million followers, that is something I've tried to do my whole career, is just unapologetically be me and just laugh at things, because I do fear that embarrassment is a choice at times. Like I do think if you choose to be embarrassed, then you are embarrassed. But no one can make you feel embarrassed. Like you give someone else permission to make you feel embarrassed. True. So if you just say, I'm not embarrassed, like I guess a little over here. We had another situation where someone was very embarrassed that they couldn't get into a certain section in Aspen. And I was like, that's only embarrassing because you're saying you're embarrassed by it. I've been denied by every door in the book before. I sat and watched Odell Beckham talk to fans for 20 minutes before he even gave me grace. Guess what? You know what social media saw? A picture of me and Odell Beckham. I willingly chose that it took to reveal that how long that took me. But I'm not embarrassed. So laugh at yourself. Embarrassment's a choice. Life's not that serious. We all have the same ending.
Make the friendship
Take a deep
bracelets.
breath. Take the moment and is it take the moment and chase it or embrace it?
Take the moment. I don't.
Love you. But yeah, there's my unsolicited rec.
I love that. Let's leave embarrassment behind.
Leave embarrassment
So
behind.
over it.
All right. Anything else, guys?